Stockinette swatch. I wanted to kind of show you how this one works. So once we get to, I'm going to just go back 2 stitches so that we can take a look at the very first right side row, which says knit 2, and then it says WYIF SL. So what that means is with yarn in front, slip 2 stitches. So we're going to bring our yarn to the front, and to slip a stitch you just move it from 1, 2. We just slip those 2 stitches. You simply just move them from your left hand needle to your right hand needle. Okay, now we it's slip 5. I can't read, so we did 2. We're going to go ahead and slip 3, 4, 5. So we've got our yarn in the front here, and we've slipped 5 stitches. Then we'll go ahead, bring our yarn to the back. So as you can see, we have this kind of float just sitting right in front of those stitches. We're going to knit 1, and then we're going to repeat that. So we're going to bring our yarn back to the front. I'm going to slip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring our yarn to the back, knit 1, yarn to the front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when you do bring your yarn to the back again, make sure that you stretch your stitches out so that this doesn't get too bunched up, because we are going to use this this float that's hanging out in front of your stitches. We're going to use that later. So we'll go ahead and knit 1, bring yarn to the front, slip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn to the back, stretch these out, knit 1, and then we're just going to knit these last 2 stitches here. No big deal. All right, and then row 3 is we're just going to purl back. All right, so I've purled back, so I'm now at the beginning of row number 4. Okay, so go ahead and take a look. We've got these little floats happening here. So now, once we're on row number 4, we're going to knit 2, and then we get to our little asterisk, so which says knit 2, Q1, knit 3. So that means we're going to go knit 2, 1, 2. Now what Q1 means is we're going to take our left hand needle and we're going to come and pick up this float. We're just going to let it hang out on top of our next stitch here. We're going to go ahead and knit through this stitch, making sure that we go under our stitch, and we got our float sitting there. We want to go under our stitch, but also under that float that we just picked up. So we have both the float and the stitch on our right hand needle. We're going to knit through both and let it just hang out. Okay, now we're going to knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna do the same thing again. So we're gonna do knit 2, then we're gonna pick up our float with our left hand needle, see, and it's kind of hanging out on top of that next stitch. We're gonna go into our next stitch and underneath that float, so both of them are sitting on top of my right hand needle. We're gonna knit, sliding both off of our needle so that you can kind of start to see there how that's going to take a look. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3 to end that repeat. 1, 2. We're gonna go underneath our float that's hanging out, going into that next stitch, making sure both are sitting on top of our needles, knit through them and letting them go, sitting kind of behind that needle. So now that we're on row 5, again, we are going to purl back. So I'm going to do that real quick. All right, so now that I've purled back, let's zoom in a little bit and you can start to see what that quilting looks like. So you can see here that that float is now hidden behind that stitch. So we're going to keep doing that to get to that desired look. So we take a look at row number 6, we're going to knit 1 with yarn in front. So we're going to bring that yarn to the front. We're going to slip 1. And now we need to do 2 more because now we're in the asterisk. So we're going to do 1, 2. Okay. So we got 3. We're going to put that to the back. Going to knit 1. Okay. Now I'm going to bring this to the front again, and we're going to slip 5 because at the end it says slip 3, and then at the beginning of the asterisk it says 2. So in total we're going to be doing 5. So we're going to go slip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring our yarn to the back, letting it just kind of sit in the front there. We're going to knit 1. Bring it to the front again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, don't forget to spread out your stitches so it doesn't get too caught up. We're going to knit 1, bring our yarn to the front, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3. The reason why we're going to do 3 here is because that's the end of our repeat. We're going to go to the back and we're just going to knit the last 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and purl back on the next row. I'll be right back. All right, so I've purled back for row number 7. So now I'm on row number 8. Okay, so for row number 8, it says knit 1. And then we're going to quilt 1. So that means we're going to pick up our float that's hanging out down here. Make sure it's over that next stitch. We're going to go into our stitch and underneath that float. And we're going to knit as usual. So that float now sits behind that stitch we just did. All right. So now we're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to quilt another one. So we're going to pick up that float sitting there. We're going to go into our next stitch and underneath that float, we're going to pull it through. So as you can see, you can start seeing that quilt happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we're going to pick up that float. We're going to go in and under. We're going to knit through. So you can start to see the quilting happening. So those are all 8 rows that we will be working on. So we're going to repeat these 8 rows another 2 times. So that will be a total of 3 repeats of rows 1 through 8. And then we're going to just repeat 1 through 6. and bind off. So that will be a total of 30 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's all 8 rows right there. You have your quilting starting to happen.